Find miraculous signs that your dead loved one is always protecting you. Love is not bound by form nor confined by sight. It exists beyond the physical, beyond the boundaries of time and space. It is an invisible presence, one that lingers even when the person we love is no longer standing beside us. When we lose someone dear, the sorrow that follows is not something that can be easily described with words. It's a quiet ache that seeps into the rhythms of our everyday lives, turning familiar routines into reminders of absence. Their laughter, their voice, the way they used to sit by the window or brew their morning coffee. These small things become monumental in their absence. And in our hearts, a space opens, wide, silent, aching, a hollow that nothing else seems to fill. But then, just when we least expect it, in moments so fleeting we could almost miss them, something stirs. A gentle breeze brushes against our cheek like the soft caress of a once familiar hand. A scent drifts through the air, the unmistakable fragrance they used to wear, bringing with it a sudden rush of memory. Or perhaps we hear a sound, faint and distant, but unmistakably familiar. We pause. We look around. No one is there. And yet somehow it feels like they are. At first we brush it off. A trick of the mind, we say. Wishful thinking. Coincidence. Our longing playing games with our perception. But when these moments repeat, when they come not once but again and again in different ways, it becomes harder to ignore. If we slow down, if we truly listen, if we allow ourselves to feel without dismissing it, we begin to realize these moments are not accidents. They are whispers, signs, quiet echoes of a bond that still exists, though it has taken on a new shape, one that no longer needs a voice to speak or a body to be present. Love doesn't die with the body, it transforms. What once was a physical closeness becomes something else entirely, intangible, yet no less real. It becomes a presence that lives in the space between heartbeats, in the stillness of the night, in the moments of unexpected warmth that rush over us without reason. These signs, however subtle, offer comfort in the midst of grief. They are not just flickers of hope. They are confirmations, proof that the love we shared, the connection we nurtured, was never limited to this world, and that it does not end when someone's life does. That connection, that unwavering thread of love, continues. It speaks not in the language of the living, but in the silent gestures of the universe. A bird landing on the same windowsill they used to gaze out of. A song that plays right when you need it most. The sun breaking through the clouds on a day you feel lost. In each of these things, they say, I'm still here. And not just in memory, but in essence, their spirit, their love, their presence, it hasn't left. It has simply become something you must feel with your soul instead of your hands. So often we are too busy, too heartbroken, or too skeptical to notice. We dismiss these gentle touches as random, insignificant. But what if they aren't? What if the smallest things are in fact the loudest declarations of love? What if the universe, in its own mysterious way, is reminding us that we are never truly alone? When we begin to see through this lens, when we allow ourselves to believe, we can find something unexpected in our grief. Peace, hope, a quiet kind of joy that comes from knowing that love doesn't end, that the people we've lost are still with us in ways we may not always understand, but can learn to recognize. In the silence, in the stillness, they are there, loving us, watching over us, waiting for us to notice. And in those moments, when the world slows just enough for us to sense them again, we remember love, true love, is not diminished by absence. It is not undone by time, and it is never silenced by death. On the other hand, if we take a moment to contemplate, we might come to the realization that those seemingly insignificant things can be a subtle kind of communication from our loved ones who have passed away. The appearance of a recognizable odor in a calm area, or the discovery of a unique item in an unexpected location, are both examples of unexpected occurrences. There are occasions when it is not merely a coincidence. You may receive them in the form of signs or messages that are filled with love, which serve to remind you that love continues to exist even after the physical body has passed away. More than just a sense of comfort, those moments bring with them. You can feel the presence and caring of your loved ones through these delicate touches, which are like gentle touches from hands that are not visible to you. As time passes and you become more aware of and appreciative of these indicators, your capacity to recognize and comprehend the messages that are concealed inside them will get more straightforward. There is no requirement for you to possess any superhuman skills or specialized knowledge. Only by paying attention, being sensitive, and keeping an open heart will you be able to see how those indicators start to manifest themselves more frequently in your day-to-day existence. It is common for these indications to have a direct connection to personal experiences and profound feelings that you have shared. They are capable of taking on a wide variety of forms: a music from the past that just so happens to play, a peculiar sensation of warmth that washes over you, or even extraordinary occurrences that take place at just the moment when you require them the most. In the following paragraphs, I will discuss 9 subtle signals that may indicate that your loved one is still by your side, silently supplying you with love and support, unexpected sensations and gestures, as well as the initial sign. At times, individuals get the sensation of mild touches, as if they are being gently touched by an unseen somebody, or as if a refreshing breeze suddenly materializes. It's possible that these occurrences are indications of a past loved one who is still in the vicinity. These feelings typically manifest themselves during times when you are deeply engrossed in recollections or when you are contemplating the loss. It is not always an obvious manifestation, and there are occasions when it can present itself as a terrifying emotion. Sometimes all it takes is a kind touch on the hand or the sensation of being hugged to make a difference. These unanticipated forms of affection are frequently accompanied with a sense of tranquility or even a trace of melancholy, as if the person you care about is attempting to bring your attention back to their presence and convey their support. It is possible that some individuals will experience a little tingling sensation or chills, as if someone were to run their fingers over their skin. This is especially often the case when you are thinking about the individual who has passed away. Inquire about their guidance or simply remember them with fondness. It is essential that these times not be disregarded or regarded as simple coincidences under any circumstances. There is a possibility that this is the way in which your loved one is communicating with you, letting you know that they are still close by, even though they are not physically there. Trust your feelings and pay attention to what they are telling you. There is a possibility that these are indications that provide you with solace and the assurance that the connection has never been severed. Vivid dreams or images that appear sometimes, dead loved ones return to us in dreams, either to send an important message or simply to provide comfort during difficult times. This can happen for a variety of reasons. There is a possibility that these dreams will be extremely vivid and memorable, leaving a powerful emotional residue. They are distinct from other types of dreams because of the clarity and reality that they include. When you have these dreams, you can see your loved one in pictures that you connect with them, such as smiling, being joyful, or being at comfort. Dreams like these are frequently accompanied by a sense of serenity, as if your loved one is providing you support and comfort through the medium of these dreams. There is a possibility that you will recognize certain words or phrases that carry significant significance in those dreams. For instance, you can get guidance in your dream that will assist you in resolving a challenging issue, or you might get an answer to a question that has been worrying you. There are other instances in which it may simply be a discussion that is pleasant and cordial, as if the person who has passed away wants to remind you of their love and care for you. There is a possibility that you will have these dreams again, particularly if you are in need of assistance or answers to the issues that are occupying your heart. You should pay attention to how you feel once you have woken up. There is a good possibility that you have experienced a moment of genuine connection if you arise from your sleep with a sense of calm and self-assurance. Third symptom, movements that cannot be explained or the displacement of objects. Movements that cannot be explained or objects that are moving around are another symptom that may suggest that a loved one who has passed away is physically present in your life. Consider the following scenario. You are certain that you left your keys in a particular location, but then you notice that they are located in a location that you had not anticipated. On the other hand, you suddenly become aware that a priceless photograph or a unique item has fallen to the ground for no apparent cause, despite the fact that there is no breeze in the room. In spite of the fact that these seemingly little occurrences could at first appear to be coincidences, it is possible that they are actually a kind of communication with the person you care about. There are a lot of people who experience these phenomena, particularly when they are thinking about a loved one who has passed away or when they are going through challenging emotional circumstances. Friends and family members who have passed away can play with items that are associated with the memories that are significant to you in order to express their support or simply to remind you of their presence. One example of an item that could fall into this category is a photograph, a piece of jewelry, or a book that held a significant place in your life. When objects move in a repetitive manner or when events that are identical occur regularly, it is essential to be aware of the situation. If your loved one is attempting to attract your attention, reminding you of their support, or simply wants you to know that they are still close to you, this could be an indication that they are trying to communicate with you regarding their presence. Under these circumstances, it is of the utmost importance to not disregard these manifestations and to take into consideration the possibility that they are attempting to remind you of the unbreakable bond that exists between you despite the boundaries that exist between the realms. A familiar aroma that suddenly appears in the air is one of the most subtle yet powerful symptoms of the presence of a loved one who has passed away. This is the fourth sign, and it is considered to be one of the most noticeable signs. It might be the scent of their favorite perfume that they used to wear, the aroma of fresh flowers that they cherished, or even the aroma of a food that is filled with memories that are very meaningful to them. These odors frequently appear out of nowhere, without any obvious origin, and they frequently bring with them a wave of feeling and memories that are pleasant and fuzzy. These moments are able to occur in conditions that are commonplace. It's possible that you are wandering around your home or lost in meditation when all of a sudden you get a whiff of a scent that immediately brings to mind that one person in particular. Despite the fact that it is a fleeting and delicate experience, it is so profoundly attached to that loved one that it is difficult to credit it to a mere coincidence. A significant number of individuals who have encountered this phenomena report that it bestows upon them a sense of tranquility and even happiness. It is as if that person has come back for a brief period of time to remind you of their presence and to reassure you that they continue to care for you, even though they are on the other side. In addition to being a potent memory elicitor, smell is frequently regarded as a technique of bridging the gap between different worlds. If you find yourself in such a situation, it is essential to pause, take a few deep breaths, and give yourself permission to completely submerge yourself in the memories. It is possible that this is a sign that the love and care of your loved one continues to accompany you, despite the distances that exist between the dimensions of the worlds. A phenomenon that many people identify as a sign of the presence of a deceased loved one is hearing your voice or name in unexpected places. This is the fifth indicator. Hearing the voice or name of a loved one who has passed away in unexpected places is that phenomenon. Take, for example, that you are in a crowded environment, or on the other hand, in a completely silent space, and all of a sudden you have the sensation that someone is calling you by your name, or that you clearly hear their voice that you are familiar with. Despite the fact that these moments are brief, they make a profound effect, prompting you to question whether or not it was actually a hallucination or whether or not anything else is taking place. It is common for these occurrences to take place while you are fully immersed in thinking or experiencing intense feelings. The sensation that someone is attempting to speak with you, bringing you a sense of closeness and affection from the person who is no longer around, can serve as a reminder that even though their physical presence is no longer present, their spirit is still close by. Sixth indication: sudden change of feelings. Suddenly experiencing an inexplicable change in your emotions can be one of the most subtle signs that a loved one who has passed away is still close to you. Imagine that on a typical day, you suddenly feel a warm, gentle wave encompassing you, or on the other hand, a vague grief that you are unable to understand. In spite of the fact that there is nothing in your surroundings that appears to be the origin of that feeling, it suddenly seems as if something has changed and you are unable to exert any control over it. A great number of individuals have said that they have had experiences similar to this, in which they felt as though an unseen presence was at their side, which communicated their emotions or thoughts to them from another planet. These abrupt shifts in emotion might bring to a sense of joy, An overwhelming sense of melancholy or perhaps a peculiar tranquility that permeates your very being, enabling you to sense the presence of your loved one even though they are no longer physically present in your life. From time to time, it is nothing more than a little pause, a gentle sensation that arises whenever you think about them or whenever you find yourself in a location that has a strong connection to that person. It is possible that your loved one is attempting to communicate their love and support to you through these unexpected changes in their emotional state. There are times when it might serve as a subtle reminder that love is something that never fades away and that the connection that you share with them continues to exist even if there are geographical barriers between the two places. Take care not to ignore these emotions. Instead, take a minute to pause, listen to your inner self, and really experience the presence of that self. It is possible that this is a sign that they are still near to you and will always be by your side, just in a dissimilar manner. The seventh sign, symbols or numerals that are repeated often. Through the use of recurring symbols or numbers, a deceased loved one may attempt to communicate with us in a manner that is one of the most subtle ways possible. Have you ever observed that you continually see the same number on your watch, on the license plates of your automobile, or in other places throughout the day? Even though these numbers appear to be chosen at random, you can't help but get the impression that they are carrying a deeper significance, as if they are trying to convey a message to you. As an illustration, you can find the number 101 on your clock without even being aware of it. Similarly, you might see the same number in a variety of contexts, such as a house number, a telephone number, or even in a dream. It is possible that you will not notice the coincidence at first. Nevertheless, as time passes, these numbers will continue to repeat themselves in a very consistent manner, as if they are trying to communicate with you. There is a possibility that your loved one is attempting to communicate with you from the other side by using these symbols that resemble numerals that are repeated. In spite of the fact that they are not physically present, it might serve as a subtle reminder that they are constantly looking over you, supporting you, and watching over you. The appearance of these numbers is not only a coincidence. Rather, it is a means by which they are communicating with you about their presence, their love, and the protection that they continue to offer you from a place that is not apparent to you. When you come across these numbers, it is important to focus on listening and feeling, because it may be a sign that a loved one is attempting to communicate with you and wants you to know what they are trying to tell you. The seventh sign is an example of this: symbols or integers that remain repeated. You could have observed that a particular sequence of numbers keeps appearing over and over again. For example, the birth date of a loved one who has passed away, or a crucial event in that person's life, could be among the numbers that keep appearing. It is possible for these numbers to arise out of the blue and to persist in circumstances that appear to have no connection to one another, which causes you to question whether or not this is merely a coincidence or whether it could be a message from beyond. On the other hand, the only way that our loved ones can communicate with us is through SMS. There are occasions when additional symbols may arise, such as a pen that they used, a flower that they cherished, or even an animal that was consistent with them throughout their entire life. At key periods, such as when you are thinking about that individual or when you are in need of comfort or direction, these symbols may occur during those times. There is more to these indicators than a simple coincidence. They are an understated mode of communication that is packed with profound significance. For many individuals, they are understood as signals from loved ones who have passed away, a confirmation that they are still present, near to you, watching over you, and providing support, despite the fact that they are not physically present. In addition, the significance of these symbols is amplified when they emerge at specific times in your life, such as when you are confronted with a difficult situation or when you are looking for answers to significant concerns. It is important to keep an open heart, embrace these signs, and have faith in your feelings whenever you come across them. There are instances when these symbols are not merely a coincidence. Rather, they serve as a reminder that the connection that you share with your loved one has not lost its strength. In spite of the fact that there is a physical separation between the two worlds, these messages are a source of solace, a source of encouragement, and occasionally a subtle guide to continue on your journey through life. Eighth sign, unusual behavior of animals and birds. Unusual behavior of animals and birds is sometimes seen as a sign that a loved one who has passed away is still close to you. Since the beginning of time, people have believed that animals, and birds in particular, act as bridges between different worlds. There is a possibility that you will observe that a bird arrives in the window on a regular basis, that it perches on the ledge, or that it persistently draws your attention while you are thinking about that particular individual. It is possible that this is not merely a coincidence, but rather a way of communicating with you through the natural world. In most cases, the most obvious indicators are when animals behave in an unusual manner. As an illustration, a cat or dog that suddenly looks into space or pays special attention to a certain location in the house for no apparent reason should be investigated. Because of this behavior, you can have the impression that there is someone approaching you who you are unable to see. The ability of animals to feel subtle energies is a remarkable ability, and it is possible that your loved one is attempting to attract your attention through the use of these energies. Additionally, these indicators typically manifest themselves during the times when you require them the most, whether it is for support or to alleviate your feelings. It is essential that you pay attention to these occurrences, particularly when they occur in a recurring manner. It is possible that your loved one is attempting to convey to you, through this peculiar animal behavior, that they are still there in your life and that they will always be there to support you. It is possible that these times will provide you with a sense of warmth and security, reiterating that the connection that you share is still alive, despite the fact that the worlds are separated from one another. Having the sensation that you are not alone or that someone is observing you is the ninth sign. An invisible presence can sometimes be felt about you, as if someone is watching you or is close to you, even when you are fully alone. This can happen even while you are in a group setting. The occurrence of this experience typically takes place unexpectedly, when you are in a room by yourself, yet you get the distinct impression that someone is present with you. These moments are typically accompanied by a tingling feeling on the skin, a heat wave, or even a rush of fresh air, which gives you the impression that there is a presence nearby that is concerned about you and is protecting you. To be more specific, this sensation typically manifests itself in locations that hold a special significance for both you and the deceased loved one. For example, it may take place in the house where you had memories with the deceased person, or in a particular nook that is filled with artifacts that remind you of them. At times like these, you can get the impression that an unseen person is standing by your side, providing you with a profound sense of comfort. It might also feel as though this person is assisting or guarding you from the other side. The sensation that you are experiencing is not one of terror. Rather, it is one of calm and a connection that goes beyond the confines of the physical world. It is possible that at first you will be astonished, but as time goes on, you will come to understand that it is a symbol of continuous love and concern for the person you care about. When we start to see indicators of the presence of our loved ones who have passed away, it is essential that we not only recognize these signs, but also comprehend them and make use of them in order to regain our inner peace and feeling of emotional equilibrium. When we are going through challenging circumstances, these indications can be a vital source of consolation because they serve as a reminder that the connection we have with our loved ones is unbreakable, even while they are no longer physically present with us. In point of fact, being aware of these indications is not anything that is supernatural or terrible. On the contrary, they are delicate channels of communication that enable us to perceive the love and care that those who have passed away have for us. It is vital to cultivate a profound and sensitive awareness of the inner world in order to have a greater understanding of the meaning and significance of these indicators. You should pay attention to your emotions and thoughts, and if you come across a sign, you should not disregard it. It may be a message of significance, or it may provide the answers to the questions that you are looking for. This can help you build a stronger connection with the spiritual world, which in turn can extend your ability to receive these signals and grasp the messages that your loved ones are attempting to send to you. Spending time in quiet thought or meditation can help you understand these messages. Know that every sign, no matter how big or how tiny, provides you peace and is a part of the never-ending path of connection between you and the ones you love. Allow your heart and spirit to open, have faith in your intuition, and know that every sign can bring you comfort. While you are contemplating these indicators, it is impossible to avoid experiencing the limitless power that love possesses. An unbounded and unrestricted love that transcends the bounds and boundaries that our senses are able to comprehend. A person's soul is never separated from their body by death. Those spirits that continue to be joined in ways that we might not completely comprehend, but that we feel passionately inside our hearts. Every evidence of a loved one who has passed away is a divine whisper demonstrating that death is not the end of the story. Simply put, it is a passageway, a gateway that takes us to something more significant and something that will last forever. Over the course of my life, I have acquired the ability to view things from a different perspective and to open my heart to the smallest of nuances, which are frequently overlooked in the midst of the hustle and bustle of everyday life. There are moments when life gently whispers to us, quiet, fleeting, yet deeply profound. A familiar scent wafts through the air, and suddenly 1,000 memories come rushing back. A melody, unexpected and unplanned, plays from somewhere unknown, and it wraps around the heart like a warm embrace. A butterfly, delicate and silent, lands on the windowsill as if delivering a message written in the language of the soul. Some might call these coincidences, just random occurrences. But deep in my heart, I know better. These are not accidents. They are signs, subtle, tender signs filled with love and intention. They are quiet reminders that the bond I share with those I love, whether near or far, whether still here or now gone, is eternal. It does not unravel with time, nor does it fade with absence. It simply transforms. Love is not a flame that extinguishes. It is a presence that evolves. It takes on new forms, new shapes. Sometimes it's the rustle of leaves when I speak their name. Other times it's a sudden warmth that surrounds me when I feel most alone. And when I notice these gentle nudges from the universe, I'm reminded, love never truly leaves us. It just becomes invisible to the eye, but more vivid to the soul. These moments are like invisible hugs, soft and enveloping, a reassurance from beyond that I am still held, still cherished, still protected. They bring with them a peace that surpasses understanding, a calm that tells me I'm not walking alone, even when the path feels empty. Dear God, I thank you for this sacred gift, for this mystery that love can transcend time, space, and even death. Thank you for allowing the ones I miss to still walk beside me in a form that only the heart can recognize. I ask you for eyes that see beyond the physical, ears that hear the whispers of the spirit, and a heart that remains open to the signs of connection that fill this world. Help me walk in faith. Faith that those who once held my hand still light my way. Faith that when the weight becomes too much to bear, their unseen strength lifts me up. May their presence, though no longer tangible, be my sanctuary. May their love be my guiding star, my anchor in every storm, and my shelter when the winds of sorrow blow too strong. Even if I cannot hold them, even if I can no longer call out their name and hear a reply, may I always feel them near. Let their essence live on through the beauty that surrounds me. In every sunrise that kisses the morning sky, in every raindrop that falls with purpose, in every small miracle that stirs something in my soul. And may this enduring love be more than comfort. It should be a call to live more deeply. Let it inspire me to treasure each breath, to savor every detail, and to walk through this life with gratitude. Gratitude for the people I have loved and will always love. Gratitude for the moments, the signs, the memories, and the reminders that love is and always will be the most powerful force we will ever know. Because love does not die, it lives on, in the wind, in the light, in the stillness. It travels through dimensions unseen. It finds us when we need it the most. It whispers, I'm here. And somehow, in the quiet magic of it all, we understand. Thank you for this love that remains, for this connection that time cannot sever, and for the strength it gives me to keep going, wrapped in the sacred knowing that I am never, ever truly alone.